Okay, absolute value equations. So a rational equation is any equation that contains an absolute value. This should not say rational, sorry. This should say absolute value. Whoops. Sorry about that. That should say absolute value equation is any equation that contains an absolute value. And that would be like x plus 4, the absolute value of x plus 4 minus 1 equals 7. Okay, solving these, those are the steps. We'll go through it. First, before we get into this, I want to talk about absolute values. So an absolute value is the distance from 0. So the absolute value, this might take me a second to write, sorry, is the distance from 0. From 0. Okay, so say you were given, like, let's just say we have the number 16. The absolute value of 16 is 16, because if you look at a number line, here's 0, here's 16, that is 16 steps away. Okay, we could do the same thing with negative 16. Now, negative 16 would be over here, and this is 0. But that's still only 16 steps away from 0, so the absolute value is 16. The absolute value of negative 4 would be positive 4, because that's 4 away from 0. The absolute value of negative 9 would be positive 9. The absolute value of 7 would be 7. Okay, so the absolute value is the distance from 0. Okay. And you should have learned that a while ago. It's okay if you forgot. There's a little refresher. So if we look at this, we have 3 plus r equals 5. My first step is to isolate the absolute value expression, which is isolated. The second step is to set the inside equal to the positive and to the negative. So I'm going to have 3 plus r equals 5 and 3 plus r equals negative 5. Then I'm going to solve both of these. So I'm going to subtract 3 and I get r equals 2. Subtract 3, and I get r equals negative 8. And there's my 2 answers, and we're done. Okay, let's look at this one. So first we need to isolate the absolute value expression. So I'm going to divide by negative 2. I'm going to get the absolute value of 9x equals negative 108 divided by negative 2 is 54. Then we're going to set the inside equal to the positive and to the negative. So 9x equals 54, and 9x equals negative 54. Divide by 9, you get x equals 6. Divide by 9, you get x equals negative 6. Cool. Let's look at C. Again, we're going to divide by that negative 10 right there. So you get negative 10x plus 8 equals 2. Set the insides equal to the positive and the negative. So negative 10x plus 8 equals 2. Negative 10x plus 8 equals negative 2. Subtract the 8. Negative 10x equals negative 6. Divide by negative 10. You get x equals 6/10, which reduces to 3/5. Here we're going to subtract the 8. Negative 10x equals negative 10. Divide by negative 10, and you get x equals 1. Cool? You can do D. You should get v equals 5 and negative 11. Let's look at E. Whoops, I skipped a step. So if we have 5 minus 3, absolute value of 7 plus 2m equals negative 34. First, we're going to subtract that 5 over. So you get negative 3, absolute value of 7 plus 2m equals negative 39. Now we can divide by that 3. So you get 7 plus 2m equals 13. So we're going to have 7 plus 2m equals positive 13. And 7 plus 2m equals negative 13. Subtract that 7, you get 2m equals 6. Divide by 2, m equals 3. If we look at this one, subtract the 7, you get 2m equals negative 20. Divide by 2, m equals negative 10. Okay, you can do F. You should get negative 11/7 and negative 1. Thanks for being super awesome, and you're welcome for making this video extra short. Remember to take the quiz. Bye.